Hey everyone, how's it going guys? Welcome into another video. In today's video we're going to talk about optimization for Twinks, basically consumable stats, you know, all those recommendations that are currently good for Twinks. And I will talk specifically for Rogue most of the time because that is my primary Twink. But I will also talk about generally for all the Twinks as well in between, what are the best elixirs, consumables, potions, enchants, flasks and all that stuff. So if you want to know about Rogue, by the way, more, I have made a route on how, like, what is the route that I used to boost people in the previous video. I will link that in the description. And also if you want to know generally about what is Freehold and what the boost is and all that stuff, I will also link another video in the description below, so make sure to check that stuff out. Anyway guys, let's dive into the consumables basically. So first thing I want to talk about here is the Ghost Elixir. Ghost Elixir, by the way, gives you 3.64% of versatility and something that is probably one of the strongest consumable right now. It gives you about, what, 75 or something? Where is it? Yeah, 76 versatility. That is very strong because versatility directly increases your damage and healing by 3.6%. I mean, given from this potion, elixir. And also it decreases the damage that you take. I mean, versatility overall for Twinks is very strong stat if you don't know how to play properly around the class, specifically for Rogue. But if you know how to play, versatility doesn't mean that much. However, having it more, it's always better. You know, I can also go for like agility flask or something, but I believe that my versatility flask gives me the biggest survival, damage and all that stuff. So Ghost Elixir recommend for everyone. Now, someone will ask how you get this. It's from alchemy. You get it really quickly. You just get Cataclysm Alchemy and go and craft a couple potions, get the skill required, and you get it from trainers. So it's not really hard to get. You need 2 Cinderbloom for crafting one of that. So if the Cinderbloom is cheap on your auction house, it's good to just craft them yourself if you can. But if you don't, you know, you can buy them off auction house if you find them cheap. But they're expensive most of the time. So just keep an eye on that. That's the elixir that I'm using. The potion that I'm using, or the pre-pot that I'm using, is Potion of Prolonged Power. Why, you might ask? Because it gives you, as you can see, it gives you 113 agility as well as stamina, which is really also strong. Because it gives you, I think, like 2,000 or 3,000 more health. And also it gives you 100% and something agility, or main stat, which is about 7 to 8% damage increase as well. That is very nice as well to have it when you are having like big pulls like in Freehold basically. So Potion of Prolonged Power lasts for 1 minute compared to other potions that last for like 15 seconds or 20 seconds or 25 or whatever. This lasts for like double or quadruple more. So I don't know, I just like it a lot more than anything else that is currently available. For food, generally I don't use anything because I mostly, like, I found the most beneficial food that I can use that is worth me sitting for 10 seconds down and you know, eating it until I get well fed, is Bear Tartare, because it increases your speed between pulls and while you're pulling, if you have the damage to kill while you're pulling, which is very strong because it helps your kiting, survivability and also, you know, pulling speed and that stuff. So it directly increases your efficiency. But since I'm using the Sentinel Eternal Refuge, which is about the same stuff, you know, it gives you like stacking buff of up to 5 that is increasing your speed. I don't use really Bear Tartare because I don't find it, the benefit I get is worth for me to sit 10 seconds and just eat it every time I die, which is dying every dungeon. To reset the dungeon, go back to the entrance, is basically we die at the end. I've explained that in the previous video, you can check it out. But for this one, I just want to talk about Bear Tartare. You know, if you don't have anything that is of the type of Sentinel Eternal Refuge, I think also Mail, Vigilance Purge, I think it's waste. It's giving the similar stuff. It just transforms you into instead of Wisp. Plate doesn't have anything. I think Cloth doesn't have anything as well. So only Mail and Leather has this. So, you know, if you have class that wears Mail and Leather, you're in luck. If not, then you need to use Bear Tartare because it really helps a lot, trust me. That's the next consumable that I wanted to talk. Now, that's pretty much all that I use from consumables. I want to have Ghost Elixir always on. I want to have pre-pot Potion of Prolonged Power, and that is all. Now, enchants. first I want to talk about stats actually, because in order to get the stats that you need, you will supplement it for with enchants and gems and all that, or gems, whatever. First of all, this is for rogues generally. I mean, this is for rogues specifically, not generally. And critical strike first is one of the stats is very important for you because, well, you know what? Let's just talk about traits first, okay? So for rogue guys, specifically for rogue, echoing blades is the trait you want to have, because when you go into Freehold, I mean, I can even go to Freehold and just show you really quickly. It's very useful to have your Hearthstone, by the way, set up into Freehold. There is a in there, you will see where now. Set it up there, especially if you're Horde. If you go once there, it's very hard to go again, you know. It takes time, you know, it takes time. Having your Hearthstone in Freehold is very helpful. You see, this is where the Hearthstone is, so... That's the dungeon, that's the Hearthstone next to the flight pet. This is the guy that you need to talk with. Easy peasy. There, trinket used. Okay, so, first of all, traits. Echoing blades, it's a 3-stack must. You see? Echoing blades, echoing blades, echoing blades. In some of the next videos, I'm going to talk how to quickly obtain these traits, but as you can see, some of these stuffs are from quests. This is from Tol Dagor dungeon, and this is from Wakerest Manor. So, if you can get this on 300 from the quest line, I think for Alliance the shoulders will be 300, not the head, but if you can get it, it improves the damage quite a bit, so just get it, you know. It's pretty easy, takes like 2 hours. But anyway, those are the traits you want to have, and why critical strike, I mean, why I actually transfer from critical strike into traits, I want to discuss that as well, because that is the only reason why I want to have this. You see a pre-pot, I have not Ghost Elixir. Yeah, this is something that I have explained previous videos, so I will not really touch on the route. I just want to show you the damage so we understand. Alright, it's enough, I don't want to pull many of this. There we go. Alright, so I'm just gonna clean this up really quickly, and you will see now, I will show you the details from Skada, what did the most damage and stuff, so... There we go. This is cleaned up. Easy peasy. See, a lot of damage, man, like, a lot of damage. I wonder... Oh well, never mind. There we go. So look at the damage now, right? Echoing Blades gives 46, does 46% of my damage. That is the traits that I was talking about. Those are the traits, yes, that I was talking about. Now, these traits are working really interesting. So, Fan of Nice damage increased by... so each of the first 5 critical strikes. So you need to have, like, out of 20 mobs, you need to crit on 5 of them. Every time you do Fan of Knife. So out of 20 mobs, if you need to crit 5, you need to have around, what, 20-30% critical strike. I go 30% as minimum soft cap, because... from what I found from my optimizations and gearing and all that stuff, is every time I go below 30%, my damage goes down really much, and my survival suffers from that, because your survival as rogue is basically your damage and leech. So critical strike about 30%, I would say, is the soft cap from my personal discoveries. You know, it's not something that I seem to find. It's just something that I've tested and found out. So. Haste, I would say 20%. It's about the point where I didn't really struggle that much with energy. You know, you will still, as I talked in the previous video, you will still need to apply 4 or 5 ruptures in order to maintain your energy, so you can spam your Fan of Knives and get the most benefit from echoing knives. And above 20% haste is where you get the point where you have your, you know, 4 or 5 ruptures, and I don't care about energy anymore, you know. So that's basically why I have 20% haste. If you think that you can apply 6 or 7 ruptures, you can even go with 15% haste, but still the global cooldowns and all that stuff, the damage from the dots that are ticking, the poisons are ticking faster as well, so about 20% haste is, I would say, the minimum. Mastery, it's a stack that is passively getting stacked. You don't even care about mastery, honestly. You want to get your critical strike cap, haste cap, and after that, you know, unload everything in versatility, you know. I don't have anything more there. I mean, I have some really juicy items, like this one, critical, and it has mastery. If it had versatility here, it would have been a lot better. but I like the crit from it. I want to go with really high crit because sometimes when you're left with like 3 or 5 or 10 mobs and you don't have enough critical strikes, so each of Fan of Knives triggers 5 critical strikes for this to trigger 5 other Fan of Knives. It is kind of struggle to fight with like 4 or 5 or 6 enemies that are stronger, you know. There are stronger enemies like this Enforcer here. If you're left with 5 Enforcers and you don't have enough critical strike, you will not do enough combo points, you will not do enough damage. You know, it makes struggle. So I tend to have over 40% critical strike on both of my rogues because I find that to be the most efficient way. But again, versatility for people that haven't really played rogue that much and they have struggle surviving. Versatility will be your main stat to stack, like about 15% would be good even. Because you will get hit a lot, you don't know how to hide, you don't know how to, you know, apply ruptures on the goes and stuff, so you will get additional hits for that and punishments. So versatility is the safest stat to go, but as soon as you understand how rogue works and you get into it, then you can transfer over to critical strike. A little bit more haste would be nice as well. And of course, the ghost elixir gives you like 4% more versatility, which is about 8% from everything. It's very nice. So those are the stats I wanted to talk. Touching about traits again, Vampiric Speed is your most influential or the most safe bet you can go on a secondary traits on the Azeroth gear, you know. But you can also go for, you know, you're gonna kite a lot, so this is also very helpful, you know. Every second you're getting 500 health. It's not very strong, but you know, it helps sometimes when you're kiting them around you on 0 health, you get 4 stacks on you and you don't get any heal from anywhere. It's nice, but anyway, Vampiric Speed is the most efficient one. Then you want to go for the shields if you are having issues while pulling, you know, because sometimes you might start dying while pulling. Those shields and stuff are also nice. But Vampiric Speed, if you can get it on 3 items, that is the best stat, 100%. It gives you a lot of speed for movement, and also it heals you every time someone dies. It heals you for like 3k. And stacking it up to 3, that is about 9k, you know, heal from every death. Another thing, which is best in slot gear here for Rogue. There is only one item that is best in slot for Rogue, beside the Legendaries, that we're gonna talk about that in a bit as well. You know, those are the traits, guys. Just get the traits on as high level possible, and that's pretty much all about I want to say about traits. Now, talking about the best in slot gear, the only best in slot that I think so far I found that works the best for Rogue is this trinket. Why? Because it gives you a lot of critical strike. You can kill it on daily, I think, or weekly basis. I don't know the rare. I killed it only once, so, because I don't really care. But if you really want to go into that and get the best possible version of this trinket, you can even go and get one with leech or avoidance or socket on it or something like that. If you kill the rare every day or something, it drops another trinket. It might have leech on it or some socket, which can give you some versatility and stuff. I really didn't bother about that, honestly, that much, but if you want, you can go, just an option. Also, why? Because it gives you critical strike, which is your main stat in my opinion for Rogue, and also increases your primary stat for every second pull. So basically this pull you will not use it, second pull you're going to use this, and it increases your damage by 20%, you know, because your agility is 1,700 total, which is pretty much the measure of how much damage you're gonna do. And then this increases your agility by about 20%, so that's increasing you about 20% your damage. Maybe less, but it's about 15%, alright? So that is very strong when you have like a lot of mobs on you and you do like 50,000 damage. 15% of that is about 7,000 damage more, which is very important as well for efficiency. There is another trinket as well. There is a Dread Aspirant you get from War Caches. I got it by mistake, I mean by luck or mistake or whatever. On my Shaman, I just going by, I was doing some quests and shit, and I open up some cache, you know, War Cache or whatever it was, in some zone, and I got 210 item level trinket that gives 350 plus versatility instead of critical strike. But it gives like 65 or 55 maybe versatility, and it gives 300 and something of the primary stat. That is the best trinket, but it's luck, you know, it's RNG. I don't think I'm gonna ever get it, so I will not even try. But this is the best in slot. Now Legendaries, I highly suggest to get Sentinel Eternal Refuge. It improves your speed a lot, it gives you 3 socket slots, so you can add here 3 of your stat. So you know, it has critical mastery, useful for most of the classes, demon hunters, monks. Monks not that much, but you know, like rogues and stuff. And also the next legendary I would say is Sefu's Secret. Why? Because as soon as you pull everything on you, you want to kidney shot someone, or blind if kidney shot fails, because if you try to kidney shot Enforcer, he is immune, and that will not proc your Sefu's. And you want to get some of these minor mobs and just kidney shot them. Proc your Sefu's. When you have everything on you, you apply the Crimson Tempest, and then you start spamming Fan of Nice like crazy. Because you have like 4 or 5 Ruptures applied, and every time Rupture ticks, it gives you some energy back. So when you pop your Sefu's, all of your dots starts ticking faster, and everything starts doing like a lot faster damage and everything. So, and you have 25% more or 25% more global cooldowns, more bleed damage, everything. So you do insane amount of damage in that point, and also it gives you 138 critical strike. That is the only item that gives this amount of critical strike, and it's insane for rogues. It gives you some really nice amount of haste, a socket slot, movement speed, all that stuff. So I find it really nice. I have this one as well. People will argue, but that is better, bro, because it gives you 30% more bleed damage. But when you see your bleed damage is 11% of your damage, and when you see that the only thing that matters is just spamming more Fan of Nice to get more damage from your Echoing Blades, which is your traits, you will understand that haste is the most important stat after critical strike. So, you know, having a lot of haste is never bad. That's pretty much all. Now, enchants, you know, people will say, but what enchants are you using? Dude, I have like here versatility. I just swapped that out to versatility because I wanted to have around 4 to 5% versatility to be safe. But, you know, you can go with whatever enchants you feel like you're missing to the stat caps we just talked about. So if you are like 29% of crit and you want to go above 30, then you know, you add some more crit, then you swap to versatility when you get some more crit later. You know, it's something that constantly changes. You don't really have fixed enchants or sockets, you know. On this one I have crit, this one I have crit, on this one I have versa, you know. So it's really completely up to the personal choice and basically the stat priority and all that stuff. So that was all about the consumables and all that. Now I want to talk something really useful for this to have, since I've mentioned Sefu's Secret, and this is very good. You want to have Sefu's Weak Aura as well. It really helps, you know, because sometimes you can use it 2 times per pull, you know. You can use it once on the start to like give yourself speed to pull more and stuff. You use your Sefu's Secret on the start, like I can use on these 3 people. I can just kidney shot someone, use Sefu's Sprint, and as soon as it goes away I can use my Sprint, and then I can Shadow Step here. You do the pull in like 7 seconds instead of 20 or something, you know. It really helps. So having a Weak Aura that will tell you when Sefu's is again available, it's very helpful as well, so make sure to have that as well. I can try to get some of my Weak Auras out. I have them, I think, on Patreon, but I will try to get them out on the website, because I cannot put Weak Auras in the description. Anyway, Deadly Poison is also very important Weak Aura, because sometimes, you know, you're gonna pull and you're gonna boost for hours and hours, and sometimes you forget to apply the poisons, and I've personally died like a couple times in a row by that, and I was like, why the fuck I die, you know? And then I figured, man, my poisons are not on, meaning your leech poison is not on, meaning you're missing like 12% leech, which keeps you alive usually. So, you know, it's important also, that stuff. Well, that's all, guys. I mean, Weak Auras are completely optional. You don't have to have them, but Sefu's Secret Weak Auras, you can find them everywhere, you know. I currently have, I mean, this is something I've made myself, but you can, you know, find Sefu's Secret Weak Auras on Vago or something pretty easy. For Deadly Poison, I can probably share mine as well or something. Meanwhile, there is also important stuff that I want to really quickly mention. Having clean UI, something that will allow you to see your debuffs, is very important, you know. Or you can just have an add-on that shows you the debuffs on a really nice spot, or make a Weak Aura for certain debuffs. Here are 3 debuffs that you want to be aware of, or 2 actually. One is, I don't know what, like, I've talked about in the previous video about it, but it applies the healing debuff. So, you know, having something that will show you the debuffs or something on a clear spot, and you being able to pay attention to it is very important. I just move them around here, so every time I have a debuff or something, look. Every time I have debuff, oops, no path available, what? Alright, I'm gonna stay for them to hit me. Come on. And now they will not apply debuffs on. Oh, there we go. So you see, these are the where the debuffs are. I can, yeah, this is the one, infected wound. Decreases your healing with 20%. If you get 4 stacks of this, it's very scary for you. So, you know, you want to have those because it's very helpful to... Alright. It's very helpful to be aware that there is one of those debuffs on you or something, because you're gonna die of that stuff a lot. So, just... trust me on this, get yourself an add-on or get yourself a nice clean UI, and yeah, anyway guys, that was all I want to talk about this. If you have any questions, I think the next video will be questions and answers about twinking. I have a lot of things to answer from the previous videos that I want to discuss and interact with you, so if you have anything answered, let me know down in the comments. In the next video we're gonna talk about the fastest way of gearing up a rogue or something like that, or we will see. Anyway, let me know down below what you think about this and your opinions and everything. If you have any issue or something, let me know as well. Thank you all guys for watching. Thank you to all the Patreons that have been supporting the channel. And in the next one, see you guys, and thank you all. Umrenov.